Ryan Shulman said it would be naive to say that the increase has not been driven by concern over the grand jury decision. The purchases are not limited to residents. The owner of an online business that sells tactical gear to law enforcement agencies said his warehouse in the suburb of Chesterfield has been visited by Missouri state troopers and officers from the Department of Homeland Security assigned to help state and local police. None of us have seen anything quite like this before, said Chad Weinman, who operates the website tacticalgear.com. There's an uncertainty in the air that has my entire staff on edge. To say that St. Louis residents are concerned about what will transpire in the coming days is an understatement. At the Ferguson Walmart, one of more than a dozen stores attacked the night after Brown's death, managers have removed ammunition from shelves as a precaution. The move to make the ammo less visible apparently did not deter customers, a manager said Monday. That store had sold most of its supplies of bullets. So what are the people running to get guns for, Anselm? What are they afraid of?
They want to protect themselves, I guess. I don't know protect themselves from what, but they want to protect themselves.
Yeah, I think there's just this fear of black people.
But do you know the KK members also threatened to use lethal force against Ferguson protesters?
I heard about that too. I mean, these people are arming up. Do you understand? They're expecting some kind of racial riot or war or something in Ferguson. Are you going to read this Klan article? I mean, it's just ridiculous. That would have been the second article on the list. So
this is an article in ocregister.com. KK members threaten to use lethal force against Ferguson protesters. Amid the cries of unfair racism and accusation of police brutality in Ferguson, Missouri, members of a group known for its hardcore racist beliefs are threatening to take action to fight the action, Vice News reported. Members of the Ku Klux Klan Missouri chapter began distributing flyers among Ferguson protesters who continue to fight against the suspected unfair police killing of Michael Brown. The KKK chapter is demanding the terrorists masquerading as peaceful protesters leave town, or else the Klan members will use lethal force to protect them. So forget about any rights that you have. Freedom of expression, freedom of anything. If you come in here and you protest civilly, we are going to deal with you.
Well, they're not saying if you protest civilly, they would deal with them.
It doesn't matter. We don't want you protesting at all. Don't come into our neighborhood. Here is the flyer. They're the best, you know. Members of the Missouri-based KKK chapter has been distributing flyers in the St. Louis metro area and on social media promising to use lethal force against Ferguson protesters they say have threatened police officers and their families. In the flyer, the traditional American Knights of the Ku Klux Klan refer to the protesters as terrorists masquerading as peaceful and say they have awakened a sleeping giant. You have been warned by the Ku Klux Klan, the flyer exclaims. There will be consequences for your acts of violence against the peaceful, law-abiding citizens of Missouri. And here is the flyer. Attention to the terrorists masquerading as peaceful protesters. You have awakened a sleeping giant. The good people of St. Louis County of all races, colors, and creeds will not tolerate your threats of violence against our police officers, their families, and our communities. We will not sit by and allow you to harm our families, communities, property, nor disrupt our daily lives. Your right to freedom of speech doesn't give you the right to terrorize citizens. We will use lethal force as provided under Missouri law to defend ourselves. And they give you the number now. Defense of Justification Section 563.031. And here it is. A person may, subject to the provision of subsection 2 of this section, use physical force upon another person when and to the extent that he or she reasonably believes such force to be necessary to defend himself or herself or a third person from what he or she reasonably believes to be the use of imminent use of unlawful force by such other person.
So there is a fear.
You're not finished. You have been warned by the Ku Klux Klan. There will be consequences for your acts of violence against the peaceful, law-abiding citizens of Missouri. 1-888-276-6760. That's 1-888-276-6760.
KKK
Or at www.
You need to give out their address. They'll give out any of their numbers.
Or help in setting us up as a neighborhood watch in your community. They're telling you, contact us for more information or help in setting up a neighborhood watch in your community.
Now, why are people are afraid of black males?
Yeah.
Do you feel that when you're out? That people are afraid of you? I mean, I asked this question of a friend before I came here.
Well, let me tell you this. It's funny that you asked that question.
That's not funny. It's sad that we would even have to ask that.
It's par for the course.
Yeah. Of people being afraid of you?
Yeah. It's par for the course. Yesterday I talked about the stop and frisk.
Right.
By New York City. This one kid was stopped 100 times and he never got charged with any crime. This one other kid was stopped 256 times and he was never charged with any crime. After a while, you just come immune to it. For example,
but it must play on your psyche, though.
No.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know what I do? I do it on purpose. For example, when you get into an elevator, right, it's highly likely if we're in the elevator together, I'm not trying to rob you because there's a camera in the elevator, right? It's highly likely I'm staying in the hotel somewhere. Many times I got in the hotel, I got in the elevator. I got in the elevator, and the person in there, if they don't step out the elevator, they clutch your purse. Par for the course. Or you know what I do sometimes? If I'm walking down the street, right, and a white person is coming in another direction. Normally, right, the white person will either cross the street or you will kind of move to the side somewhat. I just keep walking straight.
That plays on the psyche of people. It's got to play on people, on black people. And the question is, why are white people afraid of black men? So I asked my friend, are they afraid of big ones or short ones or tall ones or educated ones or dark or light? Does it matter? And it just is all you got to do is have some melanin and people are afraid of you. Some people think it's okay to have others afraid of them for no apparent reason. But it must play on people. So what is this? In the summer, this term negrophobia became something to talk about.
I mean, if yesterday I talked about what Soledad O'Brien is doing is Black in America, that's where it was. And here is an article today. Have the police departments in America declare war on black and brown people? Have the police departments in America declared war on brown and black people?
Apparently it's not just the police. It's also these other terrorist groups like the Klan. And then is there anybody here or who is here to protect us as black people? Anselm, who? Because if the police can't protect you and the police are the enemy, then have we anybody any organization to turn to that is there to protect
NAACP.
us. That are being paid off by Monsanto.
Yeah, or the Urban League.
Yeah, NAACP. Well, they'll take into court afterward, but they're not.
Or the Black Caucus.
Oh my God! There's no one there to protect us.
They fight for you. Listen.
No, I mean in a physical way, fight for you. Who was there to protect Black people? It was interesting. So you had the Black Panthers who existed back in the 70s, who were created to stop police brutality and said, "We'll police our own communities."
Yep.
And then they were under afraid of Black males, and I guess females to some extent. Why are they afraid?
No, they're not afraid of Black females.
You don't think so?
No.
Well, okay, so they just malign us, and we're the worst looking women on the face of the earth. Oh, please. This is what all the sociologists have said, that Black women are the worst looking women. I had a student just as black as your computer there said, I would never marry a Black woman.
The most maligned person on the face of this earth is a black male.
Okay, well then we must follow right after you then. So what is that all about, and what can be done about it?
Because it's what the media portrays.
That's right.
The media is responsible. There is a piece here. Which one is it? There is a piece here about this gentleman talking about how the media portrays.
So you're saying this fear is based in a media stereotype?
Yes.
Well, you had a good guy like Bill Cosby. I mean, they should have. Oh. You need one of those buttons, an button.
Yeah, you gotta be like, a flush button. It'd be a flush. A flush button. I gotta get that one. A flush button. Give you a flush, man.
Let me see if I can find one on my phone. But so it's a media thing. What were you gonna say?
Okay, so what it is, the media portrays blacks, male, as angry people. Angry young black men.
But they're also the most masculine and most hottest men as well. So how are you going to be hot, masculine, and angry?
Yeah, that's how the media portrays you. So you hear, and we covered this before. When you hear a white person shoot up in Columbine, you hear that he was an AP student.
Oh, right? Yes. Okay, now I remember this discussion.
Yeah,
yes.
He was an AP student that happened to go on astray and shot 60
stressed
people.
Out from taking.
Yeah, 60 people. But if it was a black person, this black man who was convicted 60 times, right? Or not that, he was caught stealing from the store. The police arrested him. He resisted arrest, and the police shot him dead. So every time you hear a story, no, not every time.
What about the athletes? No one is looking at them that way.
Oh, they look at them bad too. The black athletes, oh yeah, oh my God. Look at Adrian Peterson. Look at Ray Rice. Look at the other guy. Look at Michael. Look, I'm forgetting his name now.
You're not even about Mike Tyson now.
No, not Michael Tyson.
Okay.
Michael Vick. Michael Vick from the
right.
New York Jets. Now look at all of these guys. And the way they have been, crucified. Crucified. Which other person have been crucified like that? Peter, whatever they want to name is. Pizza, whatever the name is. They killed Michael Vick. The guy went to jail and come back out, and they're still killing him. Mm-hmm. Ray Rice, right? Look, Adrian Peterson. And this is what the media does. And then when you know something, there is something I want to bring up since you brought